Alright guys, so today we're taking a look at an updated case that now has the camera control button. But I have some thoughts on it, a few good, some bad, and I just wanted to run through this with you guys. Now this is not going to be a full review. I've already done my full review of that case, so I will leave that link at the end of this video as well as down in the description below for you guys to check it out. And today we are taking a look at the updated Mous Limitless 6.0 for the iPhone 16 Pro Max with that camera control button. Now, the price on this case is $74.99. So just keep that in your mind. 75 bucks for this case. So let's take a look at them. Now, like I said, this is the updated version. This here was my original Limitless 6.0 with the cutout. So side by side, it's already looking better. So that's a good thing right there. I really like that they finally listened to us. They closed it in. So that's a good, plus for Mous. That's a positive thing. I'm glad that they listened to their customers. I'm glad they took all the feedback and they closed in this horrendous cutout. I'm really happy about that. So that's good when companies listen to the reviewers and they listen to their consumers and they really listen. There are some companies that just hear all the noise but just check it off. They're like, you know what? We already released our case. It is what it is. You either buy it or you don't. Mous didn't do that. They made a camera control button, which is awesome. But unfortunately, the camera control button has some flaws. So taking a look at it here, first thing you notice as soon as you put the case on is that the grips right here on the left-hand side are not here. Now, on this side, on this case, I guess that should make sense, right? Because right here, there's a huge cutout. But why would you not include the grips in here for this being a protective case? This is supposed to be a grippy, protective, really good case. They advertise it, launching it up in the air, dropping it, all that, cool. But what about for slipperiness, right? The back has, at least on the Aramid fiber version, the back has roughly no texture at all. So that's one thing there. And it does have the grips on the left-hand side, which is cool. But what about the people that hold their phone in their right hand? And I just, like I said, I don't really see the reason why there's no grips on the right-hand side. You managed to include another lanyard loop, which nobody really uses lanyards. Let's be honest. I have never seen somebody walking around with their phone just hanging, just walking around down the street, wherever you're going, waddling along, and your phone just hanging while you walk around. Nobody uses these lanyards. It's time to get rid of the lanyard loops. I'm cool with the lanyard loops, but there's no grip. So I'm just moving along from there. That's one point off. I don't understand why there are no grips on here. Now, next, when you were to take this case off, here's what you're greeted with, right? So, looking around at this button, everything looks all good. Looks fine. Everything is okay. And shout out to the people on Mac Rumors. I'm on there sometimes. I like to scroll through, read what everybody's saying. And somebody posted a link to AliExpress, which I'll pop that up right here that you guys can see. And it's the same exact camera control button that's on the Mous Limitless 6.0. So for $75, having a 99-cent camera control button, that's a no for me. I don't understand why, when there's other companies, let's just bring over some examples real quick. So, taking a look, this is the Spigen Ultra Hybrid T. This is going to be the gold standard right now for the camera control button. Spigen absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. They made it so much so, like Apple's Clear Case, right? The button works exactly the same way. On the inside, it looks exactly the same. So you know this is a good quality camera control button. But then when you move along to something like this, you can see, if you guys see the inside right there on this case, that looks just like the AliExpress buttons that I popped up right there a few minutes ago. To me, that just seems like a cop-out. It seems like they just went and they were like, you know what, just to shut them up, we're gonna go ahead and grab this button, we're gonna order 10,000 of them, and we'll just put them right into the case, close out the case, pop it in there, nobody will notice a thing. Well, the Mac Rumors crowd, you got the reviewers, you've got consumers that were just looking around, browsing around, and somebody found this 99-cent button. And to me, that just looks like, it looks cheap. It just looks cheap, and it feels cheap. When you put this case on and you're using the button, it's not the same as something like the Apple Clear Case. But I understand what you guys are saying. Okay, hey, Brian, that's Apple's case. Cool, no problem. Let's put that to the side. It's not the same as Spigen's case. Well, hey, they're such a big company. Spigen's got the money to research all. Okay, cool. First of all, Mous is a pretty big company. They sell a lot of cases, especially for 75 bucks. I mean, they seem like, Their company, they do a lot of advertising, a lot of people buy their case. They seem like a pretty big company. Okay, no problem. Then you have this case. This case, I believe, ranges between $13 and like $18 on Amazon. This is the Tiny Owl case. They recently just made a button, and this button works really, really well. Compared to something like the Mous Limitless 6.0, let's say benefit of the doubt, 18 bucks. Let me get it right. 75 bucks. $18. They were like, you know what? We're not going to use the AliExpress button. And just to show you guys, it does not look the same as the Mous Limitless 6.0 button. It looks different. So, 18 bucks, you have a sub $20 case that went out and they were like, you know, we're actually going to put some time into this button. It's not a built-in button. It's a standalone button just like the mouse button is. But they took the time, they put it, at least they got a better quality button. Wherever they got it from, it's a better quality button. It works better, it feels better, and it doesn't pop out as easily. As soon as you open your mouse case up, check this out. Ready? 2 taps. Let's go ahead here. Tiny Owl, 18 bucks, 13 bucks, however much this thing costs. That's not coming out. Spigens and Apples are built in, so I'm not going to do that. But this thing coming out for $70, you lose this, forget it. Now, of course, yeah, that's cool. It can be replaceable. It just pops right back in. I want to see these companies do better. I want to see innovation moving forward. And I do appreciate, this sounds me being really picky, I really appreciate Mouse putting the effort and doing this. It is better than having this gigantic, ugly cutout, yes. But, again, for that price point, I want a better quality button. I want something that's built in. I can't really excuse it at that price point because if it was something like, even the Spigen, let's say it's 25 bucks, not as good, okay, whatever. Tiny Owl, $18, not as good, okay, you can write that off, no problem. It's, you know, how much money can they put into it? But for $75, I cannot not be critical. I have to be critical. You guys are going out there. I'm going out there. I bought both of these cases myself. Spent $70 on this one originally with this horrendous cutout. And then I went, boom. They launched it. Cool. Pre-orders. I went and ordered this. It came in the mail. I bought it just like you guys do. They didn't send me a thing. I'm disappointed. For my money, for my $75, nah. This isn't it. I would really love to see this be better. I'd like to see a built-in button, a good quality button that works really well. And then you got even cases like the sub case. Their button is not the best, but it's not the worst. It's built in, but it's those little copper wires, the little copper dots and stuff like that. It works about 95% of the way that Apple's or Spigen's does, but they still innovated something. They were like, you know what? No, we want to put our best foot forward from the beginning, from day one they had it. Had to give them props for that. It's not the best button, but I had to give it to them. And then let's move on to another point that I had with this case. The original Mous Limitless 6.0 is more rigid than the updated version. So just taking a look, like how much it moves and everything. Now the buttons are going to be about the same, top, bottom, and just how rigid it is here. When you take this, everything is just a little bit more loose. You go all the way, it's a little more loose everywhere. Oh, did you guys see that? Hold on. Here's the camera control button right there. I was just testing that, and the camera control button flew out of the case. So that just goes right back to my original point, how it just feels cheaply made. It doesn't even stick in there normally. So, you know, that I don't see why they changed the design and made it more loose. It feels unfinished. It feels a little rushed to me. And it's really, really hard to recommend that for 75 bucks. And then, this is just nitpicking, but I have to mention it. When I unboxed this case, when I put it on, it had a little sticker right here across the button. I peeled the sticker off, and there was a ton of glue residue all over the button. I had to sit here with alcohol swabs and with like my fingernail and try to get all the residue off so I could even use the case. So, that, I mean, again, that's nitpicking. That's just a little design with the sticker. I don't know why there has to even be a sticker there, I guess, so the button doesn't just pop out like this, you know, double tap it, and there you go. There's your button. So I guess that's why they put the sticker there. But anyways, let's go ahead and actually test this button real quick, and then we'll get out of here. So, putting our phone in here, just to listen out for the click for old time's sake. It's okay, whatever. But anyways, let's check out that button here. Let's go ahead and set up a couple things right here. Set up some cases. All right, so, you know, it works. It's not bad. It's not as sensitive or as responsive as Spigen's, but it's about 95% of the way there. Very, very manageable, usable button. if it wasn't so cheaply made. But yeah, we can go ahead and take our little picture here. Take that, boom. It does work, but it could use some work even as far as the sensitivity goes. You know, go ahead and double tap. It does work there. Go switch it over to zooms. See, it's not as responsive as I would like it to be. Now, I know this may seem like, oh, he's just attacking mouse, all that. I just want to see the companies do better. That's it. I want to see people like me, people like you guys who spend their hard-earned money on these cases. I want them to be worth what the price is. And unfortunately, this one, in my opinion, is not worth it. So let me know what you guys think about the Mous Limitless 6.0, the updated version and the original version, down in the comments below. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. That goes a very long way for me and allows me to make these videos possible for you guys. And if you want to see my original review for the Mous Limitless 6.0, I'll leave that video right there. If you want to see my review for the Spigen Ultra Hybrid T, which absolutely destroys this case in my opinion, that video is right there.